What is happening? Welcome back to another video. This is the match preview of Real Madrid versus Atletico, taking place tomorrow. I believe the game was due for a certain time, and then it was scheduled for, I believe it was a later time or earlier time. I'm not even sure. But there you have it. I guess they changed the time for tomorrow. But anyways, of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, of course. And live streams will be taking place 7:30 on the weekdays and 2 p.m. on the weekends. So there you have it. Let's get straight into the topic for today, or the first topic for today, which is about, let's see here. Yeah, wow, very quick today. Ferland Mendy. Yeah, Ferland Mendy has apparently injured his thigh. One source, I believe, what they said was it was his calf, and I think that was marker or something like that. So I'm not even sure at this point, but I think it seems to be the thigh. Some sources were saying that it was the most of the sources that I saw seemed to be saying that it was the thigh. So I guess there you go, there you have it. He is going to be out for 4 weeks. So it's going to be out for quite a bit for Mendy. Kind of sad because, you know, obviously we wanted to see him get fit, you know, for this season. We wanted to see what he was all about, and we got to see it in glimpses, but we haven't seen it fully yet. He seems like a very, very good player going forward. He's got the pace, he's got the strength, and obviously for defending, he can come back a lot quicker than Marcelo. Of course, I'm not trying to bash Marcelo on all of this, but last season we did kind of see that with Marcelo. So probably the first two games, or the first game of the season, will be Marcelo playing on that left-hand flank. So there you have the situation with Ferland Mendy. He's going to be out for a little bit. Hilo Solo says he's only missed 6 games in 2 years for Leon. Very good news. Thank you for that, Hilo Solo. I didn't even know that. So there you have it. He probably won't be injured much at Real Madrid, you know, especially considering that he was in a wheelchair for, you know, I think it was at the age of 15. So good stuff, good stuff. Good for him, you know. I'm happy to see that. And the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be about, let's see if I can pull that up here. Yeah, there you go. I think is this the one? No, this is the one. Let me pull that up. All right, so yeah, Dani Ceballos, as you guys all probably have heard by now, he has moved to Arsenal, and this is only a loan, no purchase option. You know, there's no stipulations in favor for Arsenal. You know, this benefits Real Madrid on every single aspect, on every single nook you can think of. It definitely does benefit Real Madrid. He gets to have a lot more experience. He gets to have experience, maybe you could argue, in a tougher league, maybe not as technically gifted, but definitely in a league that will develop him as a player. So yeah, I think this is a great move for you know, for both parties involved, Dani Ceballos and Real Madrid, and this is only a loan move. So he gets the experience. He comes back to Real Madrid with more pedigree in his bag, and he will be set to go here at Real Madrid. Maybe when Modric dwindles down, maybe when Cruz dwindles down. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But we don't know what happens. We don't know the future with Dani Ceballos because obviously Zidane doesn't really favor him that much. So it's just the case of whether Zidane might see something in him in a year or so. Whether that will change or not, I don't know. We know that Zinedine Zidane, like I said before, his tenure is kind of characterized by, if he doesn't like a player, it just never really works out. We saw that with James, we saw that with Gareth Bale, obviously, and we saw that with a few other players. So we'll have to see, I guess, what happens with that. But there you have the news for today. That's pretty much the news. Whoops, sorry, the green screen is kind of going crazy. The Premier Paper says he might stay there if he does good. I heard that there was no option of purchasing, so I guess we'll have to see if he does good. That will he be able to stay? Hopefully not, you know. Hopefully not, but we'll have to see, I guess. I guess the player is in power after all, right? So let's go into the match preview for today, of course. I think that's pretty much the big thing for tomorrow. So there you have it. Those are the lineups. Oh, actually, that's what I think will line up for tomorrow. Look, this is preseason. It's so, you know, it's up in the air. You know, anything can happen in preseason. I just did this lineup because, you know, Atletico Madrid, we all know they like to play in a 4-4-2. And 4-4-2, you know, it covers a lot of the pitch. So the thing with the 4-4-2 is if you can find the spaces between the lines, then I think you can definitely exploit Atletico Madrid. And so hopefully we could do that tomorrow. And hopefully, you know, having Isco and Karim Benzema, those are two kind of playmakers. They like to play in between the lines. So that's why I think they might play. But again, not 100% sure. This is totally up in the air. It's preseason. I put Bale in there surprisingly. I don't think he's going to get a start, but you never know. You never know. I did put Bale in there. I know it's a bit contentious, but we'll see what happens. Benzema, I think he's going to start tomorrow. I mean, that's obviously no question. We know that Zinedine Zidane just always likes Benzema. Always likes to have Benzema in the lineup. Eden Hazard, I have almost no doubts that we'll see him play. Kroos and Modric, very, very easy. And for the back four, I think that's very obvious. Bendy's injured. Nacho got a red card last game. So Odriozola might start, but again, Carvajal, it seems to be the preferred player by Zinedine Zidane. So that's what I think the lineup will be. I did want to get into the press conference and what Zinedine Zidane did have to say about tomorrow's game. So I know there was a question about Marcos Asensio's injury and how the future is going to work out for him. And actually, I should say that again. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, there was a question about Marcos Asensio's injury, how the future is going to work out for him, and then Zinedine Zidane did go on to say that we are all very sad for this unfortunate event. That's the reality, and we feel a lot for him. The players have given him all the support they could, but it's a big injury. But hopefully he comes back stronger. That's one side of it, and the other side is, well, there were good things from the Arsenal game, but the reality is that Marcos' injury was an unfortunate event. Those were the good things, but not as important due to Marcos' injury. Anyways, we have a game tomorrow. We'll try to go for another good game. So, Zinedine Zidane just pretty much highlighted in there the severity of Marcos Asensio's injury. It's just very, very huge injury. We know that he's going to miss almost the whole season due to this. And, for me, the right wing, still remains a questionable kind of position. Do we need a right winger? Do we not? We have Vinicius, essentially, Rodrigo. We have, Kubo. And I'm naming these players because essentially they could play there. So Rodrigo, Vinicius, Kubo. You have Brahim Diaz, obviously. And there was one more, and I can't get that. Who is that one more? I can't seem to remember that player. But there you have it. Those are some of the possibilities. Yeah, Lucas Vazquez, there you go. That's the one player. So those are all the players that could play on the right. Could they do the job there? I guess they could. But if you want to win the league title, it's just up in the air, right? It's a little bit questionable. So I'm a little bit scared of that, about that right-hand position. But I'll trust Zidane on this one. I will fully back him on this, and we'll see what happens, I guess. The other question was related to Mendy's injury. The question was, does it worry you after all that has happened last year? And then the answer was, yes, definitely. Mendy's injury is smaller, but he still won't be able to continue preparing until when, we don't know. However, they are things that happen in preseason, and we'll see if he comes back quickly with us. So just a very succinct answer there from Zinedine Zidane. There was a couple questions about Pogba, actually. There was some people extrapolating about, Pogba coming to Real Madrid. I mean, it's not going to happen quite yet. I think Pogba, it's going to take a while. I know a lot of people think that Pogba is not going to come to Real Madrid just yet. I don't know. I have a feeling that we'll see him this year. I'm still, like I said, I'm still sticking with the 95% sure. I still think we are going to see him in a Real Madrid shirt. Especially, I think that Manchester United, they're looking at acquiring Milinkovic-Savic's services. And so, with that being said, I think that will open up the door for Pogba's move to Real Madrid. But anyways, yeah, the question was Pogba, with the injury of Asensio, do Real Madrid need someone else for this team, or that doesn't change? And Zinedine Zidane was just real brief in this. He said, we'll continue working with the squad that we have and working for the game. Then we'll go back to Madrid and think about the first La Liga game. That's all he had to say about that right wing position. It doesn't seem like he's too interested in buying another player. What do you guys think, actually? Do you guys think we need a player on that right-hand position? Let me know, of course, in the comments what you guys think of that. I don't know. It's a bit difficult. Vinicius, like I said, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Kubo, Lucas Vazquez, and I keep forgetting that one player. But could they do the job? I guess essentially they could separate the task between the four, but I don't know. The next question was, does Asensio's injury change anything in terms of transfers? And then the answer was, no, nothing changes. We are deeply touched by this, but we'll go to Madrid. We'll see what happens. The squad we have is the squad that's available. So yeah, he's real closed on this. He doesn't want to talk about this. He doesn't want to give anything away. Premier Paper says, yes, need established right winger. I think so too. I I don't know, that right wing seems a little bit, I would say, dubious. It seems a little bit perilous. I don't think it's quite strong enough, especially if we want to win a league. A league consists of, I believe it's 38 match days, and you have to have consistency in that. And if you want consistency, you have to have a player that knows the squad in and out, that knows the role in the squad. And if you have a player that can play every game of every match, that would be even better for the rest of the team. If you have players that come in and out of the team, what I mean is that, Vinicius could do the job there, but will we win a league title with him? I don't know. It's a risk, It's a risk. Premier Paper says right winger that gets goals and assists on consistent basis. Yeah, that's exactly it. And the thing with Vinicius is he still lacks that end product. He doesn't have it there yet. So, if he could get that end product, obviously that's a good thing. But I don't want to risk it. I'd rather see someone else on that right hand side. Let's see. Another question. There was a question about James Rodriguez, and Zinedine Zidane pretty much deflected. He went all-out deflection. He said that is the club's responsibility and not mine. And that's pretty much all he said about James Rodriguez. So James Rodriguez, that one's going to happen for me, like I said, time and time again. James Rodriguez will leave Real Madrid. That's 100% sure. It's just about whether he's going to leave to Atletico Madrid or to Napoli. I think those are the two clubs that are linked to him as of this moment. And Napoli would be the best move for all parties because Atletico Madrid, too much contention. There's just it will never work out. It would never work out among the fan base. I think Florentino Perez is aware of that. So obviously, with Florentino being cognizant of this fact, he will not want to sell to Atletico Madrid. I know Atletico Madrid have said today that they're interested in acquiring James's services, but for me, no. It's a big no. We can't do this. Already that Marcos Llorente was just too much. There was too much contention in the fan base for that. Florentino Perez, I don't think, would want to do this deal with Atletico Madrid. There was another question about Gareth Bale, and then the answer was, or Zinedine Zidane just pretty much said that he's here training, still training, and tomorrow there's another match. He didn't say we'll see what happens, but as we all know, Gareth Bale did fantastic the other time. That's why I put him in the starting lineup. I don't think he's going to start, but I put him there just, maybe he is going to start. Maybe Zinedine Zidane pretty much surprised everyone last time when Gareth Bale came on at halftime. So maybe Zinedine Zidane just might surprise us by starting Gareth Bale. I really don't know. And then the last question here, I'm going to go with this last question, and I'm going to end it there probably. It's about the goalie situation. There was a reporter who asked about the goalie situation. There's a little bit of ambiguity. And Zinedine Zidane just said it will be very clear at the start of the season. So I guess at the start of La Liga, we will see pretty much the situation with the goalkeepers. Obviously, you have Courtois, Navas, Lunin, and I believe Altuve. Altuve, is that how you pronounce it? But you have four goalkeepers. Obviously, Lunin was linked with the loan move, and then you would have Courtois and Navas essentially fighting for that position. And I think we all know that Courtois at this point would be the number one goalkeeper. Navas would be the second goalkeeper. Probably unfairly treated, but it is what it is, especially when you have a goalkeeper that's, I believe he's 27 years old, and then Navas is 32. So it's just so obvious. Courtois is going to be number one. Navas is going to be number two. It's just how it's going to work. So I think that's all I have to say for you guys today. It's not very long today. There wasn't too many questions to be gleaned from the press conference, but those are my dispositions. I think that's what Zinedine Zidane will want to start with. Obviously, I think he will want to exploit the space between the lines with Atletico Madrid. So there you have it. I think that's all I have for you guys today. Let's see. David Jr. says, "Do you think that Bale will stay or go?" Let me think here. And I wanted to get back to you on that Neymar Jr. The Neymar Jr. topic. And what I have to say about Neymar Jr. is he is such a good player. But I think the thing, like I said last time, I think the thing with him is he's just a little bit too cynical for me. And that I wouldn't want to see Neymar at the club. I really wouldn't. And maybe it's not. I don't have the best argument, but it's just he's a bit cynical. David Jr. So yeah, do you think Bale will stay or go? Man, I don't know. It's a really weird situation. Every day I seem to be changing on this, I think that one day Bale will stay, the other day is Bale's going to go. So I really don't know. At this point, what I'm thinking is that Bale wants to stay, and he really wants to stay, and that Zinedine Zidane wants to let him go. Now, do I think he will stay? I don't know, David Jr. What do you think, actually? I'm going to throw it back at you. What do you think? Do you think Gareth Bale will stay, or will he leave the club? I think he will. I think he'll want to stay, right? And he's got the contract. He's got player power. I think he's gonna want to stay, and he's got the power. I think he's gonna stay. I'm just gonna say. Yeah, Premier Paper says leave. Yeah, he will leave the club in the last week probably, says Matthias. Yeah, that could happen. That could essentially happen. David Jr. says, yeah, if he stays, I like it. If he goes, I would swap him for Neymar. I think honestly he will stay. I'm starting. Yeah, look, I don't know. I think he'll stay too. You look at Jonathan Barnett. He just dismissed a lot of interest. A lot of the European interest. He just dismissed it, and now you have Chinese clubs. And again, Gareth Bale repudiated those claims. So that one seems like it's just Bale's gonna stay. It seems like he's going to stay. And Matthias probably has a good point that he might just leave at the last week. That's probably what might happen. At this point, I have a feeling he will stay. It's kind of weird. The feelings change pretty much every day. They're pretty transient. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And I will be coming out with the match reaction tomorrow, just right after the match. I will be able to watch the match, and I'll be able to do the match reaction right after. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and have a good one. And Matthias says I'd swap for Neymar to just... Yeah, that would be the best thing, right? I know. I think I'd do that too, actually, Matthias. I think I'd do that too. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Thank you.